we go. Oh, we're live. Welcome to the Sports Hangover. I'm Michael Benatar, joined alongside J-Dog.
Mike, I'm here in person. If people are watching us right now on YouTube, we're in the same shot. Sometimes we're in person on like two different cameras, but we're literally next to each other right now.
You know what this feels like? It feels like, you remember old Tom Green shows where he's trying to do a late night show in his house?
Yeah.
This is it. This is my office, and
Is
we're
this
doing
our
a late show.
late show?
Yeah, this is our late show.
Well, we can take viewers behind the curtains a little bit. Last week, we recorded a podcast. We're all set to record a podcast. However, couldn't figure out how to record. We're a little bit like Elon Musk and Rick DeSantis earlier. We couldn't quite figure it out. We couldn't figure out a big announcement.
There was a delay. We're having issues. We're live today. This is even better than what we did last week.
This is
we're in
great.
person.
The live viewers, I see it's going up. The count is going up pretty high. So thanks for joining us, all of our live viewers. This is Sports Hangover. The Lakers aren't here, but we are. You know, the Lakers couldn't survive, but the Sports Hangover does, and that's just what we do.
All right, so 2 weeks ago, our last show, I said LeBron will never win another title.
It was a good topic.
And it all came true.
For a minute there, it looked like he was on his way.
Yes. But then after the show, after his last game, he was talking about how he was, this might be the last game. He was like mumblings of
Let's
like
back it up a little bit to that Warriors series.
Okay.
I thought they had no chance against the Warriors. I know the Lakers have size. They had Anthony Davis. The Warriors have only 3-point shooters. They don't have a lot of big men to rebound. I did not expect the Lakers to dominate. In 6 games, didn't even go to 7.
I saw somebody on ESPN and say this is the best performance out of a team that got swept. The Lakers in the series against the Nuggets, not against the Warriors.
They overperformed against the Nuggets, I guess, because every game was close. You're saying?
It almost, you saw Golden State and they looked like they weren't ready for it. They looked like people weren't shooting right. They had bigger guys on the Lakers, so they could defend them better. The Nuggets it seemed like domination, like you couldn't stop.
Well, Jokic is dominating. We'll get to that. The Warriors, though, Sportstradamus had the Warriors winning the NBA Finals. Oh. And so I thought I was onto something as they went on this playoff run, because you'll remember when I made that prediction, they weren't in the top 8 of the Western Conference. They were so far out of it. Yeah. They got together as the season went on. Steph tried. Steph was making threes in that Lakers series. He had no help from Klay Thompson.
We're really talking about games like that happened a month ago.
Well, we just haven't been here for a minute. So we had to back up first. So the Lakers advanced past the Warriors. Very surprising. You tried to get us to go to a watch party in downtown LA at one point. Couldn't make it at Sand Volleyball in Santa Monica. Very LA of me.
I actually did attend one of the watch parties. I did a yoga session, and then there was a watch party afterwards, and I was there for a little bit. Power went out halfway through.
At the yoga facility?
Well, it was at Soho House, and they had it was a mess.
The power went out at Soho House? Yeah. That's also
for like 5 minutes.
That's noteworthy, Mike.
I know.
What's going on at Soho House? Tell us more.
So I think right now where the Lakers are. Let's just the Denver series is over. We can just talk Lakers.
Yeah.
The Heat are on fire as well, which I'm very entertained by basketball right now. Playoff basketball, prime time, that last 5 minutes, great. Before I go to bed. Turn it on.
We love the end of NBA playoff games. We love it on the Sports Hangover. We've been hyping the last 5 minutes of NBA playoff games for like 10 years on this show.
That's all I need.
Don't try to watch the whole fourth quarter.
No. And you know what I don't like? I don't like that ESPN and TNT are going back and forth switching between broadcasts. Because I would say hockey broadcast, much better on TNT.
Really?
Yes. Hockey on ESPN, no good.
You don't like it. But you like NBA better on ESPN or on TNT?
Honestly, they're both solid.
Both solid.
Pre-game show TNT better, but ESPN does a good job too. But I like ESPN because you can stream multi-view if you have YouTube TV.
When they have multiple games going on, which earlier in the playoffs was a thing, less so now. I'll tell you this. You know Mark Jones, the ESPN announcer. He's one of their main play-by-play guys. He did a lot of games with Doris Burke. Last Thursday, I'm out in my new workplace having a happy hour, and Mark Jones is at the happy hour with us. And he's just hanging out. He's just off of the Eastern Conference Series. He's the announcer for the Kings. He says he has a house in Sacramento, a place in LA, and a place in New York. He's got a place in all 3, and he's at his LA place.
Man, that man's making some money living in 3 different locations.
Shout out Mark Jones. He does college football. He does NBA. He's a great announcer. Let's focus on the Lakers. You mentioned it.
Yes.
LeBron all of a sudden hints about retirement after that last game. Charles Barkley today said, "What's going on with people not talking about the Nuggets? No one cares about the Nuggets. If LeBron's hinting about retirement, we need to talk about it."
I will say that right now in the playoffs, hockey and NBA, I don't think the teams there draw a big audience from around the country. I would say the Denver Nuggets. People in Denver love them, but I don't think a lot of people on the East Coast watch them because guess what? No one's staying up until midnight or 1 o'clock to watch NBA games on the West Coast.
No.
And right now with the hockey playoffs, very two teams. Yeah, we
live
got
update behind us. Live update. Panthers are taking the ice here in Sunrise, Florida. What's that series at?
I think the Panthers are up 3-0 in the series.
Oh wow, another blowout.
Yeah. So it could be the Panthers and the Miami Heat going to the finals for both. It's a great time to be in Miami.
It really is.
It's like, this is the time to be in Miami. Florida's just becoming a sports state. Everything is just winning in Florida.
It all happened during the pandemic. The pandemic
Yeah.
changed Florida's trajectory. The governors kept the state open. People are moving there, and they're winning all kinds of championships.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on.
People are flocking there.
You know what would be great, though, is if they played in the same arena like they do here in LA, like they used to do back in the day. They have a custom, the Panthers have their own hockey arena, which is separate from
We're like turning away.
But imagine if it was like NHL finals, NBA finals back-to-back nights. I'm not sure that's ever happened before. Someone can correct us if we're wrong.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sure
This is going to be exciting. So yeah, hockey playoffs. I think the hockey teams and the NBA teams in the that are going to the finals. I don't
random teams because it's like Denver, Miami. Who else is left in NHL? Vegas.
And Vegas is a new team, so it's like the fan base is there. Great games if you go in person in Vegas.
We just missed it. We were in Vegas a few weeks ago. People will know. We tried to do a live show there too. It didn't work.
Didn't work out.
Thanks, Southwest.
What do you? Go ahead.
Let's stick on LeBron.
Yeah.
So he hints we should talk about this. We're in LA. Crypto's right behind us here. LeBron hinted that he doesn't know about next year, and it was kind of vague at first, but then it became very clear what he was saying. And what he was saying is that he doesn't know if he's going to play next year.
Yeah, I think the way he's trying to say it is either A, he's going to move to another team. That could be
is
an
he
option.
a free agent? Can he do that?
I don't know. But then like during like after the game, you see all these like highlights and like they want to trade for somebody else. They want to get a young superstar in. They want to move. So they either have to trade him. I don't think they can because I think he's probably on just 1-year contracts.
I think he's under contract. I don't think he's a free agent. Okay. So I think they can trade him, but he can't leave like on his own.
Bronny's going to be coming into the league next draft.
Well, he'll be coming into LA. He'll be coming into USC, which is a surprise. He's going to USC, not known as a basketball school. But what does USC have? They're very close. They're very close to LeBron. Yeah. Very close to Crypto.com.
I think he wants to wait for Bronny, but I don't know what's going to happen. He did look. If you watch the game, he looked beat.
I thought he looked good throughout the playoffs, so he played well.
No, at the end of the game, like balls are slipping out of his hand. He just seems he's not like running back. He's a little tired. You're old. It's tough. I'm old, and it's hard.
He's all our age, basically.
It's really tough to go out there and just
Imagine
run.
if we had an 18-year-old son at USC too. Can you imagine?
That'd be wild. No.
Guys, we're all the same age.
I wanted to talk about like others because I feel like a lot of stuff's going on in media. We didn't talk about.
Can we stay on LeBron for a moment?
I
just have a theory.
Okay,
so how about a bullshit or believe on this theory?
Love it. I have a lot of bullshit or believe.
Okay, good. So we'll start it early. What if LeBron doesn't retire? What if he doesn't get traded or go to a new team, but he takes a 1-year break to watch Bronny at USC, to follow Bronny to all of his games, and then the coup de grace, the cherry on top, Mike, next summer, a city that you love, a city that we had a moment, including with your wife in, Paris, France. The Olympics are coming. Okay. The USA basketball team. How could LeBron possibly play a whole season with the Lakers, go into the playoffs next June, and then jump on a plane to Paris and play for the NBA team in July? It won't happen. The only way he can play Paris is probably if he doesn't play the NBA next year. So now I'm thinking, bullshit or believe, he takes a year off. He watches Bronny's games here in LA. Then he joins the Olympic team next July, and then Bronny joins the Lakers eventually, and then LeBron comes back.
Lot of moving parts here.
Yeah.
Feels. I'm gonna just say bullshit on top. I'll adjust it a little bit.
Okay.
How about he comes out in a week, major injury, maybe a little surgery, has to sit out most of the season. Relaxes a little bit. The whole team's really bad. They trade away a lot of assets. Yeah. They get the number 1 draft. They get Bronny. They play the last season together. LeBron retires as a champion of 2025. He'll retire in 2025 and become a champion. I think that way it makes more sense. Like he never gets injured. I don't feel like he's had surgery the entire time he's played.
Are you saying he's not really injured, but he's going to fake an injury?
Yeah.
So you kind of agree with me, but you're saying he's going to make up a reason to not play instead of just choosing not
I think instead he tanks. The Lakers tank to get Bronny. Next season, it's a wash. All those guys gone.
Yeah, they should be.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis? Maybe he's the one.
Even though they did a really good job trading for a lot of guys to get them to where they were today. So it's like
they really did.
Halfway through the season, you could kind of step it back up.
Because Russell Westbrook was such a cancer, and trading him away, bringing in the Lonnie Walkers of the world, and they all stepped up. Like Reeves, he played well. Never heard of him before this playoffs. But Austin Reeves, he can play. Should pay that man.
We have to go to some games next year. We haven't gone. When's the last time you
went? But LeBron won't play. We just established that.
Well, it'll be cheap tickets.
Tickets.
We'll go, yeah.
The other thing that the Lakers are hinting about now is they might have room for one more superstar, which would be Anthony Davis, LeBron +1, and a lot of people are floating it's going to be Kyrie. Kyrie was at this most recent Lakers game. Okay. He played with LeBron on the Cavs. I just want to start a petition here. Kyrie is not allowed to play in California. He's just not.
Okay.
There's too many Jews here, Mike. The epicenter of Jews across the world, there's not many. We have Israel, we have South Florida, we have New York City, and we have LA.
Yeah.
And those are some places Kyrie's not allowed. We've seen way too much Jewish hate here in LA, in California, due to Kyrie's actions, and I will not welcome him into LA. And if he joins the Lakers, I will be protesting like those writers outside all the studios right now. I'll be protesting the Lakers if they bring Kyrie to LA.
So I thought it was Trae Young that was going to come over.
Ooh, that's much more exciting.
So I thought that was like a younger superstar. Kyrie's old.
Yeah.
He's kind of the same age as LeBron.
Yeah, he's got a lot of issues off the court, too. Yeah.
Also, he kind of like, the issues just kind of disappeared. He kind of just like kept his mouth shut.
Like Kyrie disappeared in Dallas. That's
true, yeah. Oh, yeah, he was in
Did
Dallas.
you see how Luka wanted out? Like, he looks so depressed playing with Kyrie. Like, it can't be a good thing.
It's not good, when you have somebody like that.
So that should be illegal.
All right, so hold on. I have some bullshitter beliefs that we can get into. Do you want? Let's just do it now. I have two bullshitter beliefs. Bullshitter belief: Ja Morant is risking his NBA career acting like an idiot on his Instagram. Is that bullshit, or do we believe it?
It's believed because he went back to the well with the gun. One time wasn't enough, right? So he had the gun in the Instagram video, got suspended, and then somehow, some way, he shows up in a new Instagram live with a gun again.
Now, there was a video today that didn't look good.
There's another one?
Did you see the video?
No.
No, was it like, it didn't look good for like, it seemed really sad. It was like, bye mom, bye dad, like I love you. And then they had a checkup on him to make sure he was okay because it almost seemed like
a mental wellness check.
Yeah, because it didn't seem good on the Instagram.
Oh.
I think it's tough when if you were, how old is he? 23 maybe?
Yeah, he's young.
23? Yeah. And all of a sudden you get a $100 million deal. You get your own Nike shoe and you have all this stuff. I think it definitely messes with somebody, especially when you come from nothing at all and then all of a sudden you have a ton of money. Like, not just like a lot. Like, fuck you money. Like, you have $100 million.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. So I feel bad for him a little bit, but also it was 2 times. It wasn't just once. Like, if you did it once, I'm like, okay, no big deal. Like, we'll forget about it. But then he did it again. And it wasn't even his Instagram.
Even his friend in the Instagram live looked like disappointed once he pulled the gun out. Like, his friend looked a little sad about it.
Yeah, like, we always say this. Hire somebody to be the guy in the group that says, no, you can't do this. I will drive you home and we're going to go do it. You need not a babysitter, but like an adult watcher.
That's what I was going to say. The top-end franchises of our country have not figured it out. Jerry Jones and the Cowboys haven't figured it out. The Memphis Grizzlies clearly haven't figured it out. The Sports Hangover has. We can offer you a service, me or you or someone close to us. We'll just monitor you for a few $100,000 a year. We'll just go out with you and we'll say, hey, put that gun down. Hey, don't do that with that stripper. Hey, don't do this. And it's like, just say no.
Snoop Dogg has a guy, he pays $100,000 a year just to roll blunts.
Wow. This is
like
less work than that. This is,
yeah, like you can hire anybody just to be like, I'm your no man, no matter how mad you get at me. You can't say no to me. I'm pulling you out of this situation. Make sure you're okay.
It's like a great show idea. It's like following around Snoop Dogg's blunt guy.
Yeah.
Like, just what's that life like? Yeah. Like, what's he living?
Just high all the time.
Great to see.
My next bullshitter belief is, okay, this is about Tom Brady. So there's a lot of rumblings lately. Yeah. A lot of stuff going on. I feel like we missed the boat last week. Like, everything I felt like came out last week. So I'm gonna list a few.
Oh, wow.
And you tell me bullshit or believe.
Okay.
So bullshit or believe, Tom Brady is moving to LA.
I'm going to say believe because he became a part owner of the Raiders closer to Las Vegas.
So is that real? Like, was he buying a piece? Because that was on my bullshit or believe.
Apparently he gave up on the Dolphins and moved to the Raiders, which I'm not happy about. I don't know.
Well, Vegas is becoming like the epicenter of sports, right? They're having all these new stadiums built. Yeah, it's hot.
I mean, the Oakland A's are going. That's how you know.
But they have 3 years ago, there were no professional teams there.
Well, the betting stigma, it took a long time for
Yes.
us to get through, but we finally did. We finally established you can have pro sports in Vegas and succeed.
Yes.
The Vegas Golden Knights are a great success story. The Vegas Raiders are not a huge success story yet, but the stadium looks cool.
The stadium looks great.
Good
The
location.
Vegas. Yeah, I just feel like in the last few years, it's become a place that people want to go, and I think it's a great. Why not invest?
So
right?
Brady will just become like every other rich person. He will live 6 months in a day in Vegas, have all of his assets there, and spend the other 6 months.
That's the
in
dream.
LA. That's
right?
what you want.
That's the dream. Yeah. Next one, bullshit or believe, is Tom Brady dating Kim Kardashian?
I heard he's dating a new supermodel. I would be very disappointed if it's Kim Kardashian.
Well, did you see the Kim Kardashian news where they were like reaching out to talk about
I
buying?
heard they're reaching out about, was it real estate?
Yeah, I think it was real estate. Yeah.
Which is okay if that's all it is. I don't want him getting caught up in that.
Well, good for Tom. He's a single man.
I mean, he can tap.
Bullshit or believe is Tom Brady walking away from the $300 million deal on CBS?
Believe. Fox.
Fox.
That's a belief. That's a belief. The New York Post has had some great reporting on this, and it seems to be mutual. I'm not sure Fox wants it anymore because they have Greg Olson. We've talked about this at length on the show. Greg Olson's really good.
We don't know how good Tom Brady is, but I love that he got a deal without ever like showing up.
But that is something Tom Brady would do.
Yeah, but I think almost in a way like Peyton Manning did it the right way. Like he's doing his own productions. He's like kind of being on an ESPN show, but like not really. It's like his way, not their way. I think maybe Tom Brady wants to do something like that. $300 million though for what? Was it 10 years?
I think 15 years. Maybe
All right,
10.
that's a long time.
It's still a lot of money. And he got that big payment up front. But now it's on hold as Greg Olson enters year 2 as the main analyst. Brady's not going to be on Fox this year.
All right.
Maybe next year on like the 3rd year is when he might actually do it. That is a lot of money. I just feel like, we need to run things through Middle America. So often, Mike, we're just in our coastal elite bubbles and we're just throwing theories out. And we have a mutual friend. He comes from a coal mining family, right? A coal mining family in Pittsburgh. Shout out to his dad who also listens to us in retirement. So the coal miners, Mike, that's Middle America, really.
Sure.
And this mutual friend of ours, he is over Tom Brady. He doesn't want to hear it anymore. And I think Middle America might be over Tom Brady because Tom Brady beat that ass of all those teams. The Steelers and the Bengals and the Cowboys and insert Middle America team here. Brady dominated them over the years. I don't think they want to hear from him.
But Tom seems so lovable. Like I don't know how he would be on TV and like
Lovable?
Yeah, doesn't he like just
Is
like
he more intense than lovable?
But even on the Patriots, I was into it because he was a winner. He wanted to win, right? And he could win. It's not like somebody that like wants to win and could never win. It's like, all right, well you tried, like good job. But like Tom Brady actually went out and did it, and like has more Super Bowl rings than like most of the NFL teams, and even some combined.
But we know good players do not always make good analysts. We've seen it throughout history. Magic Johnson was on ESPN for a minute.
He was.
Emmitt Smith was on ESPN for a minute. Some of the legends of the game.
Emmitt Smith was around for a while, though, I thought.
But he was really bad.
Yeah.
Jerome Bettis was on TV. We had to take him off.
Well, they was
Drew Brees famously, one and done.
I called that.
You did.
I knew it right away.
You did. Like, where is he now?
That man's not going to be on TV
where'd he
much
go?
longer. And he even got like a new hairline to be on TV.
I know.
Yeah.
I love that trade. Mine's a little cheaper.
All right, so last week I felt like a lot of big news around the NFL happened. We had big announcements from the NFL and certain partnerships and TV shows. So where do you want to begin? Do we want to talk about the Peacock having exclusive playoff games?
Do we want to talk about it? What do you think about it?
I think it was a good move, but I feel bad for the people that don't know how to go to Peacock. And I don't know how many people subscribe to Peacock, but I know it's not easy to access if you're somebody, say, in their 70s and loves playoff football.
You're talking about the dads.
I'm talking about the dads. I think we can handle downloading Peacock.
The streaming service. I'm not going to comment on this one. I wish you were more supportive of it.
I love the cock. You know, everybody's dropping their first name, so they're just going to Max and Cock.
Peacock had a great tweet this week. They said we are not next to drop our intro of our name because that would happen.
Yeah.
What's up with Max? What are they doing? HBO, such an iconic brand, just throwing it away.
I actually really love the new app.
You're the one.
It's great. It's the way they interfaced it. It makes sense. They have like a featured page, so you still see your HBO shows. And it's just like little tabs. You can go. It
launched yesterday morning.
Yes.
It wasn't working for me right away.
Oh.
It was crashing in a lot of countries apparently on launch day.
Okay.
Maybe that's not surprising. But then it's a new app. You have to go in and download a new app. It's not like your HBO Max refreshes.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. That's a barrier to entry for people that might not know to go download.
But I think they'll have the HBO Max app probably for the next year, pushing people to go download it. I don't think they're going to push them off right away.
Oh, so people might stay on HBO Max. I didn't realize that.
I think people will stay there for a while as long as they support it on TVs, but I downloaded it right away. Very easy to sign back in. All my favorites were there. Everything was back.
Also, very dangerous to do it during Succession right before the finale. I mean, you don't want a nap crash.
They want you there for that.
They do.
That's what they're going for it. The next thing I wanted to talk about, what was it?
You're talking about the NFL moves, right? And I think the takeaway, not to single out any particular streaming service, but the takeaway, I think there was an article in the Wall Street Journal recently, is the NFL is preparing viewers for streaming, because you look across the board, right? It's Amazon and Thursday night. It's direct Sunday Ticket and Google with YouTube TV, and now the playoff game. Yeah, and so they're training users to go streaming. And so the 7-year-old dad, he might not be able to figure it out one at a time, but if he has got to figure out all year, maybe that'll help him.
It is a lot of apps. And it's like, yes, most dads can use cell phones now, but it is definitely not they don't use it the same way we do.
And you don't want to watch an NFL game on your cell
phone. No, but they got to have apps, they got to have a smart TV. It's like some people just have cable.
Is the NFL almost like leading the way for the rest of content? Because they say like the NFL that's what people are still watching on TV, on linear TV, right? And like 74 of the top 100 rated telecasts of all last year were NFL games. It's like a crazy percentage. Are they biting the bullet and saying, hey, we know everything's going to streaming. We're going to help educate all of you viewers of all content on why streaming is the future?
Well, all right. So 2 things. I do have a quote from Commissioner Roger Goodell saying, the Sunday Ticket move to YouTube is only the beginning, as the league and tech giants deepen the ties. And they're going to have an NFL Creator of the Week on YouTube Shorts after the start of the NFL season in September. And the show will be hosted on NFL's YouTube channel. So they're really pushing forward. But I was going to say, I think NBA is pushing forward on the media rights and TV deals, because I think it was the Nuggets that basically bought the rights from whoever the regional sports networks are, forgot their names, bought their rights, now packaging their own deal and selling it to certain places, or having an app.
Maybe the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns are doing that for the Coyotes and the Suns, I think. And it's the first market to do that.
It's interesting.
It is, and
they're not going to make as much money.
They're not, but they will be able to sell their own package over time.
So the only worry I have with that is, are you going to sell your package to ESPN? Is ESPN getting it? Because they're going to produce, basically the Suns say, we're going to produce this whole thing. You have nothing here except you can rebroadcast it on ESPN.
Yeah.
But then the issue is you're going to have your own app, right? So they'll have the Phoenix Suns app. You can download it, watch your games. How many people are going to really sign up? Because they don't get that upfront money. I feel like getting that 20, 100, whatever millions of dollars up front helps them financially to figure things out. Now it's like, okay, you're now going to direct to consumer. You now need to advertise this, get people on board. It's a little harder. It's almost like not directly competing, but indirectly competing with the Peacocks, the Netflixes, the HBOs, because now that's another subscription, another app, and then you're not getting it bundled anymore. Eventually, this is what I think. Everybody's going to debundle. We're debundling right now, right? We're debundling. Everybody's debundling. And then eventually, we're just going back to cable.
A lot of smart people think that.
We're all going back to cable. There's
not cable specifically, but the bundle, you're saying. We'll go back to the bundle.
Eventually, I'll be able to log into YouTube TV, and I will
all your streaming services will be right there, and I'll have all your favorites lined up.
They kind of are right now.
With Apple TV,
Apple
Roku,
TV,
you can do that.
You can kind of do that, but I think eventually, people are going to start consolidating, buying up little things. We saw that with Hulu and Disney kind of separating and now merging and some sort. Are they going to move all Hulu over?
I think they're moving Hulu content onto Disney Plus, right? They're putting Hulu Tile on Disney Plus.
Yeah, but is Hulu gone? And did they buy out?
That'll be decided in 2024. The Comcast Disney Hulu issue will be decided. I think what's interesting about what the Suns are doing, so the Suns and the Coyotes, those are the one market right now. Phoenix is going to stream and broadcast those games for free. Mm-hmm. So it's not even a revenue generator to have money coming in of a subscription service. Maybe in the future they can charge $30 or $40 a month. Yeah. They won't in the beginning. They can sell advertising right away. So they will have revenue coming in right away. They won't
But not as much as what they would normally get from a TV deal.
Not as much revenue, correct. Yeah. And until they can charge the subscribers $30 or $40 for a month for this, it's not going to be the same as these lucrative TV deals. These lucrative TV deals are a bubble, and they're all going to go down and minimize in the future. And that's a problem for all sports teams outside of the NFL. For NBA, NHL, MLB teams, they're going to lose this revenue, Mike. Yet they're locked in long-term contracts with these players, 10-year contracts sometimes. That's going to be a whole issue to play out in the next few years.
But it does become something where these teams now need to fully produce their own stuff. They all need to be independent, or obviously somebody's going to step in and then produce it, and it's going to be, who knows what it's going to end up being, but it's going to
very fragmented, and it sounds like it's going to be more fragmented until it's consolidated. It's like we have to get further away to get closer.
Well, the regional sports networks, I felt like that was new, right? That was something they like scooped up the last few years and consolidated a lot of teams together.
Bally's has been scooping up.
Yeah.
They didn't make it. They're not going to make it. No. Like they're in bankruptcy. They're going to have to give up all these rights. I think they're going to keep like 9 MLB teams. And they said to MLB, if you let us have the direct-to-consumer rights, we will pay out our contracts. But every other team, we will never pay out these contracts. And so there's a lot of unraveling there. For the consumer, right now, most sports are still on TV, on linear TV.
Right now.
How long will that last?
When the NFL deals are up with TV, when all these new contracts are up, that's when we're going to start seeing it all.
Well, we're going to see a lot also in the NBA. The NBA is up next in like 2025. We're going to have a whole new rights deals. Will it be ESPN and Turner, like you were saying, alternating games, or will new players get involved, whether that's streaming services, linear TV?
We want Apple to get in the game. Apple should have had the NFL.
Why didn't they?
We don't know.
Conspiracy.
Last thing on the NFL, I don't know if this is truly NFL, but Pat McAfee sold a show to the rights, I guess, to ESPN for like $120 million.
We don't know how much he's getting yet. That was his FanDuel contract, was for $120 million.
Yeah, so he left $120 million behind. The deal begins in fall 2023, and it will air on ESPN, ESPN Plus, and ESPN's YouTube channel. And it will follow Get Up and First Take. So it'll be right after, I guess, First Take, somewhere around there in between. But it seems like a big jump for a show that was just on YouTube. It's just like all of a sudden if we were on ESPN, kind of like, oh, hey, guys, why don't you jump over here? It seems like ESPN's trying to get the younger audience over, and this might work. I think it will, because he has a big following. So now it seems like we're in this creator content era where if you have a following, you all of a sudden can get a deal on a bigger network, like Tucker Carlson, he's going to Twitter, but could have probably
smaller network.
might find another place to land at some point.
Yeah.
But I think something like this is showing you the power of like what the sports hangover could be in 5 years, right? Like, or what a creator you like.
Do you have a deal lined up for us?
Hey, might be working to do. Yeah. Wow. So I just think a lot of stuff is happening in the world of media, and especially around sports, because I think sports is where people think they're going to make the most money.
I think it's a great point. Pat McAfee was on my list to talk about too. Apparently, Al Michaels, your boy, crowned Pat McAfee as the new king of all media. You know who used to have that moniker.
Who?
Howard Stern.
Howard Stern. Wow.
And now Pat McAfee is new. You used to be a Howard Stern guy back in the day.
I know. I've been seeing clips of him lately, and it just seems kind of like he's out of touch. He's made hundreds of millions of dollars.
He's so rich.
So rich.
And that's a Pat McAfee is going down. He's going to be so rich. It's him and his boys talking about whatever they want to talk about every day. It's very similar.
They're not going to be
parallels. Yeah. They can't say the F-bomb anymore. They can say everything else, apparently. And it's going to stay on YouTube, which is fascinating. And it's this new era of, previously, you would never think something would stream live on YouTube and ESPN, because why would you go to ESPN if it's available on YouTube? But McAfee has established his YouTube presence, and he knows he would lose so many young people. Mm-hmm. So they are moving it to ESPN's YouTube page, which I think is fascinating, because currently McAfee is monetizing his own YouTube page on top of the FanDuel contract. My question to you is, I think he's actually giving money back. He's leaving money on the table by going to ESPN instead of monetizing his own thing, plus the $120 million from FanDuel. Why is he leaving that contract in the middle? We don't know exactly what's going on.
He must be getting paid more, or he's going to be taking revenue from either the YouTube stream or something. Because if you're leaving YouTube, so say one day the Sports Hangover has 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
Getting close.
There is no need for you to ever work another job, because if YouTube is paying you enough money in ad revenue, and if you're able to do that and also put sponsorships on ESPN that ESPN has no cut of, they might be able to wiggle some of that more money out. But if he's left $120 million, you better believe he's getting paid more than that.
That's what I would have thought too. It doesn't quite add up when you look at it, especially as ESPN goes through these cost cutting, right? We hear about these Disney layoffs every week recently. Bob Iger's coming in and slashing 7,000 Disney jobs, but apparently they have millions and millions for McAfee. It does make you wonder.
I have.
By the way, one more on Pat McAfee. He flew out here to LA. I have a source. I have a source on this. He flew to LA.
Okay.
He went from LAX to this Disney lot right here, right around the corner. Yeah. And Bob Iger came to the meeting. Bob came to the meeting with Pat McAfee and sealed the deal to bring him to ESPN.
It's big.
It's pretty big.
You know they're paying him a lot of money.
We'll see how much. It'll come out at some point.
And if he's still able to do the show on YouTube and like in his basement wherever he is,
I think they will in Indianapolis. Random place.
But like, why not? Yeah. It's just showing you the power of the creators, and I think that's very valuable to other networks that don't have the time and energy to want to break through that barrier
or develop it themselves. Yeah,
because it's hard to develop, right?
They just buy it.
Yeah,
it's kind of bad, but.
I have one more thing. The NFL changed the fair catch rule, and I always thought it was so. They said they changed it now. A fair catch on kickoffs will now be spotted at the 25-yard line. I always thought it was the 25-yard line.
So if you fair catch in the end zone,
yes,
you go to the 25. Now,
anywhere.
You can fair catch anywhere and go to the 25. And so what they're calling this is the anti-special teams rule, where special teams will be taken out of it. And Pat McAfee, of all people, a punter, was railing against this. And apparently the NFL insiders said Goodell's the only one who wanted it. Special teams coaches said, you're going to ruin special teams. There won't be special teams anymore. If you always have fair catches on every kick and every punt, what is special teams? What does it become? It's going to get people out of jobs, right? There's certain guys on NFL teams who only play special teams. But special teams coaches will be out of work. It does seem like it's a move to start to get rid of special teams, which we're okay with on punts and kicks. We don't like those anyway.
Well, half the time red zone doesn't show up.
So maybe that's Goodell just taking us into the future.
I do think it could give a strategy of like muffing the ball a little bit, like just kicking it straight so they can't fair catch it. It's bouncing around a little bit. I think there could be some strategy in it. Like I was looking at him like, who cares? Like it's a kickoff. Like
who cares?
I know like half the time if it's in front of the end zone, they're going to try to run it back anyways.
It's a great time to get up, go to the bathroom, grab a drink on kickoffs.
But
we don't stay and walk.
It's only kickoffs, not punts. Because I was almost...
That's punts also.
If it's punts, then I'm out.
I think it's punts.
No, because it can't be. Because if you're on your 1 yard line and you kick it, it's going to go automatically to the 25. What
if you fair catch it, you'd have to not catch it and let it go in the end zone.
No. But you're not going to kick end zone to end zone on a punt.
No.
That's what I'm saying. If you're on a punt, it should not go right.
Oh, it won't go backwards. It would be to the 25 or wherever you fair catch it on the field. It won't go backwards. Well, I'm pretty sure it's kick.
I don't know. I was trying to read about it. I'm like, am I dumb? Because I couldn't figure out. Is this something that's okay? Good. Yeah. All right, I have one more story for you. This is big for you, Jeremy. This is actually kind of sad.
Oh.
We haven't done food news in a while.
No.
But food news is here today. And I have something really sad to tell you.
Oh no.
Skittles is going to be banned in California.
Why?
They're banning Skittles, Doritos.
Sugar?
California's one step closer to enacting a law that would ban Skittles, hot tamales, and a host of other food items.
Hot tamales? What did hot tamales do?
And other hosts of food items that contain chemicals linked to health issues, Jeremy.
Of course, health issues.
The bill would prohibit manufacture or sale or distribution of products containing red dye number 3, titanium dioxide, potassium bromate, and some other vegetable oil, propyl something in California.
Well, I will not give a political commentary on this one.
Okay.
But I will say that I love my candy. I love my Skittles. And I love my hot tamales. I love probably all the things on your list, and that makes me sad.
I know.
And I'm going to have to leave the stage.
What's your go-to candy these days?
I do like something a little more sour, so I didn't hear you mention any sour Skittles on there.
I'm sure. Well, Skittle. I'm sure sour Skittles are in there too.
Sour gummy bears are always great.
What'd you have recently? What's your most recent candy?
I crushed a bag of Skittles on the way home from New York. A New York to LA flight's a great time for a whole bag of Skittles. Big bag.
Do you crush it all at once, or is it like over the course of the 5 hours?
That's a 5 hour.
It's like a little.
Keep
that sugar consistent.
I try to keep it. Don't crash.
Yeah.
The time I like candy and sugar the most is late at night, and that's not a good time. As you know, as a sleep expert and nutritionist, that's the worst time.
Worst time.
But also, I'll say this: my boss brought his kid to work today, and she was in the peanut M&Ms before 9:15 a.m.
Whoa!
So there's all kinds of ways to go, all kinds of types of
peanut M&Ms are pretty solid.
They're pretty solid.
Get a little protein in there, right? You get the.
Is that how you look at it?
Get the peanuts. Yeah.
Not happy about Skittles being banned. I might have to go to Nevada, join Tom Brady, 51%, get my Skittles.
Sometimes I think about it, just like a little desert house in the middle of nowhere,
Just for no reason at all.
Could be fun. We could build a Sports Takeover studio.
Hey, the live show. I hope you guys like this. Wireless mics. Hope they could hear us the whole time.
I'm sure they could.
Watching a hockey behind us, got a national anthem, getting ready for Panthers. Lakers and Nuggets would have had Game 5 tonight if LeBron could win a game.
We have Miami and Boston
tomorrow.
So I thought it was tonight.
They just played Boston.
Oh, okay, you're right.
No NBA tonight. Just
good hockey.
That's why we're going to.
All right, guys. Good show. Check out thesportsingover.com. Oh, by the way, I have this shirt right here. This is our. I made a retro logo of the Sports Hangover, like early '90s style Sports Hangover.
That's when we started the podcast.
Yeah, that's when we started.
Yeah.
So we have a little retro logo on there. We got some tanks up there right now. Go buy some merch. All right, guys. Bye. We're ending the broadcast.